All right. Let's just check and wait, see if we can get everybody to come in and see who can hear. Leo, how are you? And Edible, how are you? Can you guys hear me and see me? Espen, you came in third for the first time ever. Ever. Usually the first guy there, but I started a little early, so I can't blame that on you. Leland, how are you? Tony, how are you? Mikey, how are you? So, can you hear me and see me? 5x5, yes. Picture and sound good. That's all I needed to do. All right, so let's get right down to the table. First of all, as you know, all this is always sponsored by Miniature Market. Great games at great prices. Go check them out and see what is good for you. And they've got plenty of good stuff, trust me. And plenty of good stuff that we're going to be reviewing and taking care of going on in the future, which is always great. Alonzi, hello from France. Well, that's always good to have somebody from France here. Okay, so let's scoot down to the table and take a look what we got together. Oh, wrong way, huh? All right. So today we are talking about, of course, let me make sure that I backed up a bit. We're working on the Shadow War Armageddon pieces. And I'm going to show you a quick, easy way to paint them. Now, the first thing I want to show you is this piece right here. If you remember, we were working on this yesterday, and it was a little bit of a bear, but I learned something. When they put it up on the channel, when they put it in the book, they want you to build it the way you want to build it. So it's not specific to a certain way. Just to read a quick comment here, I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Works Edition from Miniature Market. Expensive, but nice game. And believe me, you got it cheaper than you can get it anywhere else. I don't know about this game, but the terrain looks badass. It's based on the old Necromunda that came out in the late 80s, early 90s. I think actually middle 90s, 90, 95, 94, somewhere in there. So anyways, what I wanted to do is just let you know that I did this exactly the way the book is. The second one, I think I'll play around with it and make a few different things and make some changes here. So what we're going to do, I'm just kind of showing you kind of everything that you kind of get here. As you can see, I primed it black. But on these, which we're going to work on a little bit and work on this particularly, is I started the dry brush in a lead belcher. And I'll explain to you that's not how it's going to be. This is just the undercoat. So we're going to explain what we're going for, how we're going to go about it, and how we're going to get it. This piece here, right now, we're going to get out of the way so we can clear up some room. So, boom, that's out of the way. And next, what we're going to do is we're going to actually move this piece out of the way a little bit. Actually right here. And this piece. And we're going to move this. We're going to move these skeletons back from Rune Wars, which we finally got finished up, guys. So let's take a look. Actually, we'll put them up on here. And we got everybody based and ready to go for our big battle. So there you go. Now, if only skeletons fought in the 40K world, we'd be all set because we'd have everything painted. But that's not how it goes. That's from Rune Wars, and that is for another time, my dear friends. So, if you saw the calendar that we have, we are right on schedule with everything, so I'm pretty excited about that. Now, what you want to do here is you want to take your lead belcher, okay? And since we're closed in here, I'm going to turn off the autofocus. Go ahead, you can yell for him, Tam. It's fine. Neutral, how you doing? Canadian Barbarian. Robbie G, I wanted that game, but sold out in the UK. Well, you can get that at Miniature Market very soon, because it'll be available, I believe, May 3rd. Now we're going to take our lead belcher. And my puppies are being bad, as usual. Anybody that's familiar with this channel will know that we are a family-friendly channel. And we try to do things just like you were at your own home. So let's move this out of the way. And all we're going to do is, I got a bigger brush here because this is bigger area. Rob, could you make a video someday regarding what paint sets we should get to get started? Well, you can. Yeah, I'll make a video of it. Let's leave it at that. And all I'm doing is I'm just taking and I'm just dancing it in there, because this is not the main color that we're going to go with for this particular piece. So I just want to get it over, but I don't want to lose all that black underneath, because that's going to play a major part in what we're doing here. And any of the areas that I feel are too black, I'm just going to go over, and just dry brushing this, we're going to get the result that we want. And that's a nice solid dusting of a silver metallic look. And that's exactly what we're going for, and exactly what we're getting. You could take it and use a little bit more. You could try to scrape it off here. Let's get this paint out of the way. And go here. Shake it up. I definitely will, Espen, I promise. As a matter of fact, I'm planning on doing some reviews on some paint sets that Miniature Market has. I'm going to take a look at them, and I'm going to try to figure out which one is higher grade or better, but they're all good. But I'm waiting for them to get the Citadel stuff so we can really take a really fair analysis of everything and see what'll be best for you guys. I've been watching your Runemore painting videos. I went to GW site and see that they have glazes and washes. What's the difference? Glazes give you, say you put a white down and you just want that you want the white to have a tinge of blue, for instance. You would use a glaze, a blue glaze, because that will show through. It's a little more transparent. A wash is more for getting into the recesses and darkening up recesses. And that's what a wash does primarily. Oh boy. Alright, so, and I'm just hitting the bottom here because I just see this bottom needs a little more love. And there we go. You okay?
I'm doing my breathing exercises.
Oh, okay. Queen All Reality is in the background. For those of you that don't know, she is kind of an enigma on here. What? Alright, so that's kind of what we're going for right now, but this is not even going to be the color that this is going to be. And we'll take a look at that a little later. Let's just brush this up a little bit and get that going. Remember, this is the undercoat. And while that's drying real good, we're going to work on this because I really kind of want to get, and look, I'm taking some of the paint off, but I'm really not taking a lot of it. And the reason I'm doing that, and let's move this back a little bit so we can focus in on this piece here. If you notice, there's a lot of black highlights here. I want to leave those in. Okay, so that's why we're dry brushing this on. Remember what I said yesterday about certain paints? Like if you primed this white and you went over with a lead belcher, it would be a very bright silver. We don't want that. That's why we prime it black. We want to dull down the color. So if you got a piece of black paper and a piece of white paper and you took a blue marker or a green marker or a yellow marker, the yellow would show really, really brightly on the white paper, but would be very dark on the black paper. That's because of the background. And that's what primers do. Matter of fact, I'm going to the Cool Mini or Not Expo in Atlanta in a couple of weeks. And I'm pretty excited about it because one of the people that paint for Cool Mini or Not somebody that I really admire a lot. Her name is Jen, and she is a Golden Demon Award winner. So I'm hoping to spend some time with her and learn a few things, and so I can improve my painting for this channel. So I can bring it back and teach it to you. If she can teach it to me, then I think I can be able to teach it to you. How's that? And that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to do a few things that are just a lot better. Matter of fact, we're almost going to be a little late. We had a friend of mine stop by who frequents the channel here. His name's Mike. You guys might know him from a couple community reviews and stuff like that. Do you have a preferred primer? Well, I think the companies that make primer, is gray paint a bad choice? No, gray primer is good for certain things. You just sometimes, it depends on what it is, and you'll have to work a little harder. No primer is bad. It's just if you have like something that's going to be dark, you're going to kind of want to, really kind of want to prime it that black. But if you have something bright, you're going to want to prime it white. It's just going to help you out in the long run. This seems a little loose, but that's okay. I'll have to glue it a little better later. We're not worried about it. If it comes off, we'll work with it. That's the way I look at it. All right. All right, so that's pretty good. So let's let these dry for a little bit. And let's start working on this piece right here. And again, it becomes a thing where you just kind of, hey, Von Deacon and RV Rat 8607, how are you? Mr. Volog? Is gray primer a bad choice? No, I used gray primer, a matter of fact, on my Rune Wars, just to go a little further. There were a couple things that I can actually shortcut with the gray. See, if I went to white, it would be hard to really kind of dull down the color a little bit, but I went with a gray because it helped me with the blues. I was able to put the blues on in one coat, which was nice. So again, what I really want to do is get this top piece done. And the reason being is I want to show you one of the colors that we're going to use on it. And I'm being very liberal with my brush. And I'm just kind of really going over it. Not really worried about it because this is not going to be the main color underneath, but I do want on certain things like this post, I want to make sure that I get it covered pretty good. This post here, we might just leave silver, so we'll make sure that we have silver. Yeah, basically silver, you know, an iron look to it. And we'll get that in there a little bit. And here we go. Now one of these pieces are loose. I've got to glue down, so if it pops off, don't have a heart attack, I know about it. And we want this metallic underneath because it's really going to stand out when we paint a color that's coming up here very shortly. And we're trying to get this ready for Saturday. We already got Rune Wars ready, so we're planning on doing that. That might be tomorrow night. It depends on what's going on with Janice. It may be scheduled for Saturday and this on Sunday. We'll figure it out, but I put it in the calendar. If there's any changes, we will make note of it. That's why I'm not going to set things up until I know exactly what's going on. All right. This looks awesome. Something new? Yes, this is called Shadow Wars Armageddon, and it's by Games Workshop, the masters of miniature gaming. Because nobody makes a better model than good old Games Workshop. And you see, I'm being very liberal here, really working it in there. take some off the cloth here and work that in there. And you see, dry brushing is a lot of fun. It's a good time. And again, have fun with it. Get a big brush. This is one of those times where you can be messy and it feels good. You don't have to worry, you don't have to sit there. This is just mindless work. And sometimes that's the best kind. Let me see. New oil freshly squoze from the wreck bus of nuns. Hello, Lori. How are you? Okay, Mr. Vold, you're new to this? Well, this is a perfect jump-on spot for you, especially if you're painting figures for the first time or buildings. And this game is very reasonably priced. I saw it on the Games Workshop site for $130, and you're getting, and you get orcs and tactical marine, scouts, space marine scouts with it, so you can never go wrong with that. And we're just gonna work underneath here because we have to paint underneath. You don't have to go crazy underneath with it, but you do want to get it on there. And you can see that we are just really working this old brush. We're not worried about condition of the brush. This is just one of those cheapo brushes that you get from Hobby Lobby, and you're just going to go with it. And that's something cool. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing here. Again, just really working that brush in there. Sometimes the little pieces like this you kind of want to hold in place. You see how I'm holding that and using my hand. And you're going to miss some spots, but that's not critical. It's okay, because some of that bleeding through is going to make it really look cool. And you can see we have that kind of offset color work, which is really nice. Nefarious, I've been using Vallejo washes, which are very good. Don't want to waste the Vallejo stuff. Thanks for the answer. I got Rune Wars and don't want to mess it up. Are there any tips on how to cut the flashing off properly? Get yourself a little razor. They have some nice cutting files or jewelry files that'll help you. Using a hobby knife. Okay, you guys are talking amongst yourselves, which is just fine. If you have a question, just put the word question in front of it. And that way I'll see it, because I don't like to miss anything that you guys want me to see. And I feel bad if I miss something. I really do. I take it personally. But that's okay, because again, we're just going to have some fun today. And just painting is fun in general. And just a very enjoyable experience. I've been painting all day, getting stuff ready, because we're going to have a great weekend on the channel, where we're going to be playing a lot of newer games, and we're going to be doing some really fun battle reports, and we're looking forward to putting those together for you guys and doing it live, explaining to Janice, who's a newbie, so you guys get to really see somebody play some of these games that have never played this type of game before. There it is. That's the one I was looking for. So this is just going to be great, especially if you guys don't know the rules and stuff like that, because you can see us make mistakes, and we'll actually really be able to do some really cool things. And we'll make some mistakes. You guys will pick up on it, and you'll know enough by watching the video not to make those mistakes, because we already made them. We made them for you. We make no apologies for making mistakes. It's just part of our human error. So we apologize for them ahead of time when I'm painting. But we like to have our stuff painted. We don't like to play the games unpainted. The kids have gotten spoiled to it. So I'm constantly painting, and when we do reviews, I like to do everything painted so you guys can get a real good feel for the game. And then we do our paint tutorials. You can see those on Review Corner or here. If you go through, we have tons of those. But be sure to go to Miniature Market and check out the Review Corner. There's reviews on everything there. And I suggest checking out Dan King's reviews. He does a great job. My good buddy who handles a lot of the Euro and other types of board games. We play those here, but you know something? As far as reviews are concerned, if you want an honest, good review, go to Review Corner or Game Boy Geek and check out Dan King. A really nice guy, good friend of me. Every time I see him, he's got a hug for me, and he's just an all-around good guy. He's giving me advice, and I appreciate him taking any time that he's taken with me, and really a class act. So if you're into Euro games or anything like that, well, we play them. And guess what? When we want to find out what Euro games to go play, we'll go see what Dan likes, because Dan's got good taste. And there you go. And it's just great to be part of the Review Corner family. They've got some great reviewers there that I've started reading reviews. Usually I would always wait for a video review, but you also got guys that do some great stuff. Question: how is your day, Rob? Hope all is well, Papa Bear. I was thinking of tackling some small minis. Anything out of the ordinary, awesome help you could give that would benefit to this mission? Small minis? Get Adrenaline. There you go. Adrenaline or Scythe. If you have that game, they've only got a couple of minis in it, and you get a game out of it too. It's a good way to kind of get going. Or go get yourself, if you can find it. I don't know if they still have it available, but the BattleTech 25th Anniversary Edition. I know they still have them out there, and I'll tell you, it comes with a ton of robots, and there's nothing better than starting to learn how to paint on robots. Because robots, guys, are cool. Aren't robots cool? Yep, robots are cool. And we're just giving this a good 1-2 here. And we're just going around. And I'm just kind of tickling everything. If you got the brush. There we go. Now we want to really wash this brush really well, because we want to get all the metallic out of it. But we're just waiting for that to dry a little bit more. Actually, you can do it without it drying, but there we go. Alright, so let's put this aside for a little bit. Some areas I got to touch up, but for now, that's kind of where we want to be with that. Question: is Shadow Wars Armageddon a Games Workshop game? Yes, it is. It is based on the old 1995 or 94 or 96, somewhere in there, Necromunda, which was one of my favorite games. Oh, we used to play Necromunda. It probably ranks overall 5th all time for me, 6th, with Blood Bowl and a couple other games being ahead of that, but I don't want to ruin my top 10 of all time, because maybe someday I'll do a top 10, you never know. That'd be kind of cool. Because people like top 10s. I don't blame them. They're fun to watch. Top 10. Alright, we're cleaning off this brush. All right. I don't really do GW stuff, so I didn't recognize it. You know, it's something that I think is very good. It's a skirmish game that you can level your guys up, and you know, the guys can be very personal, so it has that role-playing element, and just a really good game. Did I miss any questions? I'm sorry. I was really concentrating on what I was doing here. All right, so let's start here. I think that's a good start. So, what's the first thing that we're going to do? Well, I'm going to show you. And I just want to check something real quick. And, yeah, well, we could do that. Or we could do that. Here. Well, let's start here a little bit. Because then we can just kind of work our way around. Alright, so the next color that we're going to take, with that silver underneath there, is the Everland Sunset. Everland Sunset. This is a great color. Question, do you have a video on basic painting? Yes, I do. You can. I have a folder called Painting 101. It should be there. Question, have you painted the minis yet? Believe it or not, I have a ton of orcs already painted, and I have the scouts already painted. So these are just more of what I already have, but I'm going to paint these up tomorrow anyways, just to have them painted. Oops, there we go. Alright, let me see if there's anything else here. I like the games with progression like that. My last GW game purchase was Warhammer Quest back in the 90s though. Yes, it's very much like that. It's a very, very good game. I think you'll enjoy it. Enjoy the Frostgrave rules, but haven't picked up the minis for it yet. I was supposed to get a whole bunch of them and I didn't, and I have all the rules for them and everything, and we built a city for it. So hopefully what we're going to do is we're going to talk about getting some of those minis and see how we can just roll through that. So there you go. Alright, so let's just put this over here for a little bit so we can have this right where we need it. Now we're going to take, this is just a base color. So what we're going to do is, again, we're going to dry brush. And dry brush seems to be the theme of the day today. As a matter of fact, this entire system is dry brushed. Let me just, I want to pull up a picture, make sure I got everything right where I want it. Let me grab the book here. That's not going to do it. Oh boy. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And what I'm trying to do is get this exactly the way I saw it in the pictures. But I want to change a few things. So, yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking to do. Perfect. Alright. Always check your pictures. Always check any kind of reference material that you might have. And make sure that before you start doing something, you do it right, or else you're going to mess up. You don't want to mess up. Alright, there. Okay. So we're going to shake this real good. And again, we are going to draw brush. Games with progression, I have played Frostgrave. This is not a test. Both have campaign and character warband progression. That's what I like to. I'll have to check out. This is not a test sometimes. This here, we're going to be doing Saturday, so you can see how the progression works, because we're going to try to start a campaign. So if you want to stop back, we'd appreciate you and your support. There you go. So we're going to take, and actually we're going to start with this piece right here. And all I'm going to do is take some of this. Okay. I'm going to get it on there real good. And I want that metal to really kind of stand out there. So we're just going to exactly do that. And you see we're just taking that brush and really just dancing with it. Look where I'm keeping my brush. Now I'm not worried about getting on this piping because I'm going to go back over that piping with a different color, I think. Or I can just sell the whole thing. Look what I'm doing here. Okay? You see how that is? Look where I'm holding the brush, how deep back I am. Alan, how are you? Let's see, FFG, I'm seeing if I missed anything. No, I did not. Again, I'm going to come back. I'm going to take my brush, get some of this paint on here, close this up, work the same spot so I can pull some of it later. And again, I'm just taking and working that brush. And I'm tickling. I'm actually not hitting that very hard. I'm just hitting it in such a way that it's such a nice dry brush going over, even coat. And it's doing exactly what we want it to do. It's giving us that darker, but that metal is kind of just tickling through a little bit. And that's what we want. And I'm just going up all the way. Let's pull a little more off here because I think we can get a little more out of this. And you can see off the stack. And we're just going to keep turning and whipping all the way down. And we're starting to get that required, that result that we really want. Kind of want that beaten result. Now, it'll show a little better in a minute once I get a little more color on here. And I'll try to get a little more light in here too. It's just a weird, because I'm doing it in here where I've been doing a bunch of different projects. So again, in the same spot on the paper and high on the brush. Don't be afraid to pick it up, catch that bottom. There we go. Alright. Dancing over that silver, that lead belcher. Just dancing over it. High on the brush. And coming over onto the corner here. Don't be afraid to turn the brush sideways. Go around that top edge there. And there we go. Pull a little bit more off. And we're just working our brush nice and easy. There we go. Exactly getting that feel that we want. Robbie said bye. So some wizard types are stronger than... am I missing? Wow, these buildings are awesome. Thank you, Jolly. They are. Finished my base in Masamura. Rob, did GW limit these box sets? Any idea if they're going to do more prints? Yes, they are in the process of doing a big print run. Again, make sure that you check for the release day at Miniature Market. They're going to have some great prices. And you'll see my review of the game. And a few other things on May 3rd. May 3rd, they go live. So get ready. At Rob's. So for the large terrain, black primer with lead belcher, way to save on washes. Will you still do a wash of the top layer? I don't think so. This is going to be strictly a lot of dry brushing. This is one time that we, you know, for once, that we don't have to use a wash. And again, it's just a lot of making sure that we take a nice light approach towards it. So it goes on there. As you can see, no brush marks. That's what we're going for. Which is just exactly what we want. All right. And we're just working that brush. We're letting the brush do the work this time. It's not a lot of paint on the brush, but we're letting the brush do the work to really work. And you can see what the result that we're starting to get. Matter of fact, let me just make an adjustment here real quick. And let's move this out of the way. And let's try to bring that. It's not perfect light, guys. I'm sorry. But you can see what the effect that we're starting to get. We're starting to get that kind of old world look. I'll show you the picture exactly what we're trying to go for. Hold on. If I can find it. And you're going to have to build out a little bit. So this is what we're trying to accomplish. This is what we're going to get in the end. And you'll see how this all comes together. And it's kind of shocking how it all kinds of works out.
Oh, God.
Just tons and tons. What's the matter, babe?
I just got an email telling me that because I received this big email, I am going to be recognized at this thing tomorrow.
Oh boy. Told you. You're the best there is, the best there was.
Oh, boy.
You don't like that. She doesn't like being recognized. Alright. And again, all we're doing is working this brush. Let's just concentrate on the lower level here first. And then we'll work our way up. And you'll see where this make sure that you got a nice even coat. And it's okay if it's stronger in some areas and weaker in other areas. And I'll show you why. It gives that worn look, which we kind of will really play off of. All right. Hello, Lord Dragon. How are you? Rick? How are you? Let's see who else is here. Import US to UK is too high. Just getting into some 40K. This set Orcs versus Marine. Yes, it is. Very cool. Looking good. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. We're just having a good time here. I really enjoy when I can do a project like this. And oh, I went up top too soon. And we're just going to turn that. I do want that dingy look, but I want to make sure that I really have some strong color in there. go. Now I'm going to show you how we're even going to highlight this even more. It's just a lot of dry brushing, and that's cool. And you notice how we have the dark metallic underneath? It really does. Really, you can see where it's kind of contrasting in there and really giving a nice effect. Let's hold it here. And let's just come up top here. What are we doing for time? 34? Oh, we're doing pretty good. Because at least I'll be able to show you how to do a piece here. And that's all I wanted to do. And then you guys can use your imaginations and use whatever colors you like. Or maybe you like this color scheme and think to yourself, hey, this is pretty cool. And we're not going to use any washes with this. Can you believe that? And you know I love washes. If you watch this channel, you know this channel is built on washes. Now I'm going to do a tutorial on this that you'll be able to see on May 3rd when they come out with the thing. We're doing this live right now, but I will be doing a whole painting with Rob on how to do the terrain for this game, and we'll go over a whole bunch of different techniques, some of the things that I feel that'll be helpful to some of you that are doing this for the first time. And again, like I always say, I'm not a painting expert, but I am somebody that really enjoys to try to teach people. And I think for me that is a great enjoyment. And that's why I do what I do. I get great satisfaction of all the wonderful letters that you guys send. And if you guys want to contact me, get a hold of me at novaprime860@hotmail.com. I will get back to you eventually. Maybe not that same day, but if you get a hold of me on the weekend, I usually check my emails on a Monday morning. But I answer every letter. There's been a couple times where I've missed some, and if I miss something, just say, hey Rob, did you miss this? And write me another one, and I bet you 10 to 1 you'll get a response. Kind of hard when you're a one-man operation. I can't catch every email, and sometimes they get stuck in that box, that stupid junk box, because they don't know who you are. There's no way the thing can go and say, hey, are you a friend of Rob? Yes, I am. Oh, here. All right. Now, do you see the effect we've got going here? See how this now all of a sudden has that old world Earth look? These are kind where you add a lot of weathering so it looks rusty in places. Yes. Well, what we're doing is because we have the the lead belcher underneath, the black underneath, it's kind of doing it for us by just dry brushing one of the main colors on here. But I'm going to show you something that's going to add a little flavor to it, and we'll get to that in a minute. If you just bear with me here. I just want to get one more crack at this, and I want to get under here. I want to get around the edges really well. You can see the weathering in there already, and it's built in with the silver, and it's just a nice effect. Now we'll bring that out by painting over it with some brass, but the main effect that we're going for here, as my dog, as always, on cue, if you're a first timer here and you know that this is something that Happens a lot. So now we've got this nice effect. And again, holding the brush deep, and I mean deep on the outside here, like you're tickling somebody, like, come here. You have a kid or something, you know how easy it is to make them laugh. Well, you do the same type of technique with your brush. Alright. Alright, 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 alright. Actually, just a little bit more on that back side there. And this is a wonderful color to do with buildings, especially with the color scheme that we're going to go with. We're going to match it with a nice blue. But you see, it's very rough and metallic on the inside edges there, and that's intentional. Like, we didn't take all that black out. And looking around this pipe here. And that's what we're going for. That's the kind of look that we want. And all it was just a simple layer upon layer upon layer. But we're not done yet. We're definitely not done yet. So let's move this a little bit. And let's see if we can just improve things a little here. Go. Alright. Let me break my phone. No, I did not, so that's a good thing. Put that up there. Alright. You see what we got here, how this is starting. You see how it's on the incept here, how it's darker, but you have that bright color. It really shows in the upper echelon here, how in the grooves, in the piping. See, there we go. You can see what the effect that we're going for. Can you paint explosion marks, Rob? Like blast marks, or however you call them? I think you can. I would use an airbrush though. Looks cool. Are these minis the kind where you can, oh yeah, I already answered that question. I'm doing my first non-paint by number mini and trying to do layers. How do you determine how much light in the base color? How much to lighten the base color? Mine look more like a camo, even after the glaze. I'd have to see. Send me a picture, novaprime860@hotmail.com, and I'll help you out. What do large pieces look like? Of you do the standard base? Wash then highlight? Are the effects comparable at the cost? More materials and work? It still looks good with full dry brush. If minis were ticklish, they would all dread Rob's house. Yeah, probably. Leland, I'm kind of confused on that one. I'm sorry. What do large pieces look like at the standard base? It's the same. It's the same thing. I mean, yeah, you go through more materials and stuff, but it depends how you apply them and things like that. Depends what you're going for. Like right here, this is what we're going for right now. So we're letting this dry a little bit. The other thing that I want to show you, and I'll just kind of go over this quick, is this pipe here is going to be that color, but this base here is actually going to be a McCrag blue. So I'm going to kind of show you how this is going to work out. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the same type of technique. Okay, let's just make sure that we have here. So we're going to take the McCrag blue. We're going to shake that up. Remember, what we're trying to accomplish here is basically the same type of thing. We're going to take a good amount of this paint off. Remember, that silver underneath is really going to help us out a lot. So again, I'm going to turn this so you guys can see. And all we're going to do is just dance that along here. And it leaves that silver underneath. Gives a really nice effect. We really don't have to do a lot with this, because this just responds to the darker color very quickly. And I'm loving what I'm seeing here. I'll also do those top pieces there. And there we go, around the base here. You see what we're getting here? We're getting that blue. This is a tough camera angle. That's the problem. Did these structures come with a silver base, or I added it on? I spray painted it black. They were all this color. I'll show you. They were the color of this ladder. They were gray when I got them. And then, there we go. So we're going to take a little bit more of this blue. And we're going to, and the blue I'm just going to use strictly for the walking areas. I'm going to show you. I'm just dancing, but I'm leaving that silver so it has that metallic feel to it. It's all I want. I want to get enough of that blue on there to take out the heavy areas, but I want to leave a good amount of that silver in there, or the lead belcher in there, so you have the feel that this is a metallic structure. And just work. Here, because I think the blue is going to match up very well with the colors that we have here, the color scheme that we're going for. All right. Goodbye, and hello. How are you? Grahamtastic, how are you? Off for now. We'll catch up later. Okay, Robbie, take it easy, brother. And go easy, Canadian Barbarian. One of my favorite names on the channel. The Canadian Barbarian. And you can go a little thicker with the paint here. It's okay. But you really want that blue really kind of take control. And with the silver underneath, it gives a nice effect. There we go. Silver and the black working together. And I'll take some of this off here and go around the edge. And then we'll get underneath later. But I kind of wanted you to see how that blue effect works and how it works together with the with what we're trying to accomplish here. There we go. And when we show this off tomorrow, we'll have it in better lighting. And it'll really stand out. did not have time to get the good lighting out here. And that's kind of not helping us too much. All right. So let's just take a little bit more here. Good amount. And I'm going to go a little thicker on this because I noticed that I just want to get some of the thicker areas like there and around the edge here. But this is all going to come together, and I think you'll see what I'm talking about sooner than later. And I love the way this blue works in there. And it sits there with metallic, and it goes great with this color. Really goes great with this color, especially when we go over it with the next color. So we're going to let this dry. This is pretty much where we want it to be. So we're going to clean this off a little bit. Now this, we really truly have to dry brush. And what I mean by that is we're going to really just kind of go very lightly with this next color. So we're going to take this off. We're going to make sure we have a nice dry piece here. Now, Screaming Skull, it's kind of a white, and it is a bit of a layer paint. Let's see if we can. Oops, hold on. Hold on, I got an idea. I want you to beat the devil out of your brushes. Yeah, this is a cheap brush. It's a 99-cent brush. That's why I get these strictly for this kind of stuff. There we go. There, that should give us a little bit better view there. And also you can see what we did here. Oops. You see how that blue mixes in with the silver? That's what we really, really want right there. There we go. So let's get back to this. Alright. Put that right there. Let's downsize this. Looks like the dry brush is way to go. I was thinking it would be a waste to use a new oil on a non-dry brush base coat. Exactly. It would be a waste to put new oil on here. It'd be a waste of your new oil. Because if you build it out right, if you go with the silver, then the black primer, then the silver on the way out, it's really going to make a big difference. And then here, this is really where we're going to go. Maybe you're going for a non-weathered building effect. No, I am going for a weathered building effect. And I think you'll see that when we start adding a Balthazar Gold, the dry Necron compound eventually, for some warp bronze in there as well. And that's where we'll build that wear in. Now this here, this is a very much kind of almost like an eggshell kind of. So with this, we kind of really want to be a little careful with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, okay, that's perfect. Okay, now we're just going to very easily, not very hard, but because that's where we're going to get the weather effect. It's just by taking that and just working nice and easy over the affected area. Oops. And we'll take a little bit more. And again, just jamming that in there real good. Just getting the top out of there and working that in. And just very, very lightly. Just enough so you can just get you can see it on the edges. It's going to give a hard sell to this. It's going to give that, it's not that clean cut look. And if you put too much on, don't worry about it. The other thing is you can always just go over and put a little bit of that outer lemon sunset on and just go back over it. It's not a big deal. There we go. Now we're just letting it just sit up on those corners, on those edges. Really just, there we go. Captain Scotch, how are you, my friend? Welcome. And we're just kind of going over this. And we're using this piece as our centerpiece for now, just to give you some good ideas on how this will all kind of pan out a little bit. A little bit too light over on that one area, but I'm okay with that for now. And there you go. That's what we're kind of, see how that now weathers out a bit? Really dulls it down. Now what you're going to want to do also is you're going to want to take some of this Screaming Skull and you're going to want to do the top of that blue piece too. This you got to be very careful with. This is where you kind of put it on the brush, but you almost take it all off the brush. Let's just move that aside a bit. And you'll really get the feel for this one once you see what we do eventually. So, again, just a very, very light. Where you're not taking, but you're just hitting those edges. Like look at that fan area. You're just kind of very nice. You're giving it that weathered look. And that's exactly what we're going for here. Nice weathered. Look, we're keeping that blue in there. We're keeping the silver in there. But we're adding a little weather to it. Add in a little environment. You can see how that all kind of, you got a little bit of highlights here and there. Now we'll pick out certain things and add bronze to it, and it'll really stand out. And you'll see the finished product soon enough. Space Marines, very cool. I found my old Space Marines and Imperial Guard. Alright. So now we would take a couple bronze and things like that, and I think I'll show you that in part 2 of this tomorrow. We'll get all the rest of these pieces up, and then I'll show you the final highlights on it. And then I'll also do a complete run-through of how to do this on Miniature Market. You'll see how to do each and every piece, and we'll walk you through it step by step. So I think you'll really enjoy that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this so far. You can see how easy this was to do. Okay, prime. Then you come with lead belcher dry brush. Then an Avery Lynn Sunset dry brush. Then a Screaming Skull very light dry brush. And you get that texture and that look that you're looking for, just like it's out of the magazine. Maybe a little simpler version of it, but I think you'll find that this is going to work very nicely for you and work for you, and it'll look great on the battlefield, and your friends will go, wow, you really did a great job. And that's what we're looking for. Tried to make them weathered and beat up looking, so what Rob is doing now is great to see. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate that. Thanks, Rob. Had a ton of fun. Hope you have a great night. I hope you all have a great night. And I thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Tomorrow, I promise you, we'll take an hour. We'll just do the finish up on this. I think you'll really enjoy this. I'll have it right where we can finish it up. And we'll get ready for our big battle on Saturday. Actually, excuse me, rewind. I think it's Friday night I'm doing the follow-up on this, because tomorrow I think we're battling Rune Wars. Rune Wars, we're doing a battle report live for you guys. So I think you guys will enjoy that. Here, I'll turn on the thing, and maybe we can take a quick look at some of the guys here. I don't know how far this thing will turn. Yeah, there we go. And you can see we got these guys all piled up, and kind of, let's see if it focuses in a little bit. Yeah, you can see that we got a few things in the way, but you can see that we pretty much got things pretty up, ready to go. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope this was informative for you. Hope it works for you. Until next time, I'm Rob Bourne. Thanks, guys. It's been a great time. Talk to you soon.